everybody please rise for pledge allegiance? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, God, we come before you in the name of Jesus, Lord. We're thankful for this day. We ask for your blessing upon this meeting tonight, Lord. Let everything get accomplished that needs to get accomplished with peace. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
All right, roll call. Scott Ferguson here. Tim Curran here.
Roxanne Tuskegee here. Tracy Donovan on the left here.
Approval of minutes. Do we have two sets of minutes to approve?
We have a non-pub, but wait a minute for the minutes.
Standing by.
No pressure.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Move on.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Oh, there we go. See?
All right. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from October 7th?
Yeah.
If so, I will gladly take a motion. I'll move.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Straight off.
Oh, Tracy, for the 10-16.
All right.
Will we do the
Yep.
non-pubs?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to seal the non-pubs from October 16th.
I'll second that. And that's to adversely affect the reputation of any person not a member of the board. Roll call, Roxanne, yes.
Tracy is.
Scott Ferguson, yeah.
Michael Green,
All right, under signature action, tax refunds.
Wait a minute, is that the right one? Nope, that's the ZBA. Sorry. Wrong one.
Oh, wrong one.
And then there's this. That's the next one.
Then I'm against it.
So I would
Just
hold
hold on
that
to
for
that for a
you.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any supporting document for this.
I was asked if those would be going out tomorrow.
Well, we want to know what's the supporting documentation for these refunds.
She didn't give me.
Then I would be signing.
Those were,
Do we show, but I mean, we don't have any backup that shows the, or backup that states why we need to pay this back other than they said they overpaid.
they overpaid because they were ones that the bank has already paid, and then the resident also paid, so they're refunding the residents because they had them out of a tax escrow. So,
If you want backup.
She usually provides the journal entry or a backup with this. Is there a reason did she advise any reason why she didn't this time?
no. Not that I can recall, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna hold off on signing off on those and request backup from her.
I think that's for the,
Oh, for the building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the rental of the school for the election. The rental for the school, for the election. Sorry. What is this?
there a charge with that?
No, it shouldn't be.
Any charge associated with the building?
There's no charge associated with the bill, with the rental for the.
Do we have a JP here? Because this looks like it's a sworn to.
Hey, Andrea, can you,
So,
if you don't mind?
it doesn't,
Do you need glasses?
no, but I'm just, it doesn't state it, but the way it's worded in language-wise, it appears that it's a sworn document. So,
Oh, is that the other
so
one?
for all intents and purposes, I'm going to swear that this is my signature on the state of New Hampshire
Just need the top
inhabitants
section.
of the school for the election purposes. And this form is in reference to the posting of the location. It does require 2 other signatures, so whoever.
Send it that way.
Are we doing department heads?
Yeah, here. Some of them. Yeah. So we'll let them go.
Right underneath yours?
Yep. And then if somebody else could sign underneath Tim. He'll sign it. Perfect. I'm gonna move on, department heads. We'll start with the highway department.
Good evening. Dan Phillips, Phillips, resident road agent. This is from September the 10th to October the 28th. It's a little lengthy, so I apologize, but it's a pretty big gap there, so. We've been hauling materials from the New Durham pit that we had crushed down to the stop yard down here, so that we can get it a little closer to where we're working. Had the chemical toilet and removed from the town beach. Also took the garbage can. So that's all shut down for the year. Leveled up the turnaround on Kings Highway up at the New Durham end. School bus was having trouble. It was a little washed out, so we took care of that. There was a few poles that they had put in, telephone poles on Pinkham, and evidently there was a little miscommunication there. They had them a little too close to the pavement, so we got a hold of them, had to move them. So now they're back 4 feet to the face from the pavement, which is where we would like them. So that was taken care of. I just went down and checked on that the other day. We put in a pad over at the municipal building for a propane tank, which has now been installed, and that is to fire up the new boiler, which is propane. That's, I believe that's all done.
Yep.
Took the flags down. We are gonna be requesting in the political line some more, yeah, because there's quite a few flags, and then the military flags need to be replaced as well. They kind of took a beating this year. The shoulders on Kings Highway where they did the paving was done per contract with the paving company, so those were all set. We had a few complaints about the branches on New Durham Road coming out of Buttermilk. It was kind of hard to see with that hill there and everything, so that we cut those back And I believe that makes it a lot better coming out of there now, especially for the school buses and stuff. So we did that. Had all the trucks inspected. They're doing the pickup right now. That's the last one. We have bits on the bottom of the York rake that we used to rake the dirt roads with. We changed those out. Those were worn out. Put new tires on the front of 24 for the inspection, which is one of the bigger trucks. Put gravel on the dirt roads where needed, filling in potholes and stuff, and we are still trying to build those up some. Like I said, we just had all the crushing done, so we have plenty of material now. Obviously, the old town hall parking lot job started and finished for the year. They did their cleanups, and for that parking lot, there will be another top coat being put on in the spring. There will also be some curbing from the edge of the pavement that goes in front of the highway garage around to the front with tip downs for handicap accessible. And then there'll be a sidewalk that goes up to the ramp, which goes into the kitchen for handicap accessible. And there will be a sidewalk that comes from the sidewalk out front to the front door. And then obviously they'll raise up the catch basin covers, and they'll put 1.5 inches of pavement on that, and that'll be done in the spring. Typically that's what you do. You let it go through a freeze thaw, and then you do your paving in the spring the following year. So that'll be done. The catch basins that we do have in town, they're not exactly catch basins, they're drop inlets. And we had Camerons come out with their vac truck and clean those out for us. These will be put on the schedule as well. They probably won't have to be done every year, but we'll keep an eye on them because there is a sump, there's a 3-foot sump, and what that is a little space for the buildup, and it also lets the water settle out, and then it'll build up and then go out the pipe. So those will be on there as well. We put a sander in truck number 27, oiled and greased it, just so if we did have a surprise freezing rain or anything like that we would be ready for that. Put a new chain in number 22 sander, and there was a bearing that was gone that we noticed, so we replaced that. All the sanders are ready to go, and all the trucks are ready to go. So we'll be putting the wings on them shortly. We're going to try to hold off as long as we can. It doesn't take very long to put a wing on. So we'll be watching the weather, and if need be, you'll be seeing the sanders and the wings go on the trucks. There's a couple of hydraulic hoses on the loader that were getting aged, weather cracked and stuff like that, so we replaced those. We also replaced the cutting edge, which is the metal part that's on the bottom of the bucket to help protect the bucket. It's designed to help protect the bucket, so we replaced that. Filled in some potholes on Silver Street in the pavement. We moved a dead end sign on Fox Road. It was in a spot that was hard to see, and there were some residents down there voicing some concern. People going down there and then speeding out and stuff like that. So we moved that sign so it was a little more user friendly, so you could see it a little easier. And then we cut around the 25 mile an hour sign. The new truck came in. So we took that up, and the body and the wing and the plow and all that stuff's being put on right now, which it's just about done. So we're looking to be picking that up. So next time we have a touch a truck, everybody will be able to see the new truck. And If you want to come down and see it, you're more than welcome. We're there Monday through Thursday, 6 to 4:30, so if you want to come in and take a peek. It's an automatic, and it's got a stainless steel body, so this truck should last us a long time. After they got done putting the new pipe across Ridge Road, we ditched in front of the PD, put some riprap in there. I did have SUI give me a price on putting another catch basin on the other side of the road and then extending that pipe down just to try to ease that. So it's kind of a deep ditch line that I don't really like right now, but so I had them give me a price on that. They haven't given me the price yet, but they were looking into it for me, and I will present that when I get it. That'll probably be done next year. Picked up 2 spare spreader chains for the sanders, so we have one on hand if one happens to break. We have a smaller chain in the smaller truck, and then one for the big truck, which will fit all 3 sanders. Ordered the salt, ordered 10 loads, so the salt shed's full down there. That came in, pushed all that in. Right New Durham Road, we'll probably try to get it one more time before things freeze. Hopefully we'll get some rain. And put together the 2025 budget and turn that in for the selectmen to review. Fix the heater in truck number 22. I told you this is a long list because it was a long time in between meetings. And then I just took care of the beaver dam down at Nicola Road today. After the water slowed down from draining the lake, I guess the beavers must have been all excited about all the water, so they got back in there. So hopefully the guy's supposed to come and try to take care of the critter that's in there. So that's it. Any questions?
What year is that truck?
The new one, 2025. Yes.
New Portsmouth Road, we gonna discuss that by
Yep.
any chance?
We are,
When are we gonna do that?
once we get through department heads.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Do that like you know what you're doing.
What's that?
You do that like you know what you're doing.
No, I didn't.
All right. Fire?
I have not, he didn't give me anything, so.
Fair enough. That's it for
I
department
think
heads.
that's all we have. You were the only one prepared. So
All
this is the ZBA application. Remember they had given it to us for
Yep.
review.
Yep. So now we have the ZBA application for new forms. Everybody get a copy of it at the last meeting, which seems so long ago. Did everyone have a chance to review it all? The rules and procedures, forms, everything that Tim gave us. Any discussion on that? All right. And
No,
is-
for me, we're just looking what's called ZBA recommendation with updates, and that's why we wanted to hand select boards. Have them see if there are any changes that they felt to be included in there. If not, we're ready to bring it back to ZBA and adopt them.
I reviewed it, and I'm presumptive everybody here has. Do we need a vote on this, or just?
No, we just want,
We're good.
Yep. So,
Looks good
Sense,
to me.
pretty much just a sense of council.
Yeah, with that said, and hearing no discussion, I would say that the board is on board with moving forward.
Perfect, and then on our next ZBA meeting, we'll put that on the agenda to have those approved.
That was what he gave me
oh,
for.
Scott can read it. So yeah, we did get a report from the chief
Oh,
saying
okay.
that it's gonna go.
All right, I got 2 reports here. I got a report for fire department and also for police department. This is for the month of September. Middleton Fire and Rescue had 22 calls. There was a total of 12 fire calls that range from CO alarm activations to building fires. This month, they trained on scene size up and apparatus placement. There were 10 medical emergencies, of which 5 were covered by EMS services here in Middleton. The other 5 were covered by neighboring communities. I'm not going to say I personally, but the fire chief personally would like to thank every member of the department for making this department what they are. If you'd like to join the department, they're always looking for new members, and you can send an email or contact anyone in the department, or come down to the department on any Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. No experience is necessary. It encourages anybody interested to reach out. Police department, again, this is for the month of September, because we didn't have a department head meeting then. At that point in time, there's currently 2 full-time officers, the chief and a patrolman, and 1 part-time secretary. The cruisers all received their regular maintenance that month. Cruiser mileage, they vary anywhere from 40,000 to 95,000 miles. Activity, there was 1 arrest, 25 calls for service. Motor vehicle activity, 80 warnings, 7 summonses, and 2 accidents were handled. And all 4 cruisers went through state inspection and got inspected.
And then there's the treasurer's report.
Do you know if we have a part-time officer too, don't we?
My understanding is we do have a part-time officer that was in process. As to the status of that officer, I don't know if that whole process was complete and they've been hired at this point. I'm not sure.
Okay.
A conditional was given.
Thank you.
So there's the treasurer's report, and then this is the town clerk.
Yep.
If you'd like me to
What's
add
that?
on to that real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, it was my understanding that what's called the part-time officer we hired will be back in the spring.
Okay.
Right now, what's called we wanted to get him ready to go, so that way by the time, thought he goes down to Florida or North Carolina during the fall, winter, and then comes back in the spring, so.
Thank you.
And as far as the account goes, town account, total cash available, $1,153. $1,153,703.39. And I'm not sure what the total share.
You send the revenue that comes in. Usually we just say what the total revenue. Yeah.
So the grand total revenue that came in was $44,540.86. So I think that covers department heads.
Yep.
CBA is done. I'm gonna go into New Portsmouth, which will be old business. It just doesn't appear it was put on here. So as we previously discussed in the last meeting, we had discussion about the service of New Portsmouth Road basically above the Snyder property. This was based on multiple previous discussions and the location of a warrant article indicating that the townspeople had voted in 1973?
No, 78.
78, that the townspeople had voted at that point to discontinue any maintenance and road service beyond the Snyder property. Just one moment. So at that point, we had discussions on that. There was some more topic discussion that came up in regards to it, as far as legality issues and other things that the town had looked into, as far as past practice or current practice, if you will, and what road that would lead us down, so on and so forth. We did get back from legal. All those questions were relayed to legal. We did get back to legal, and legal basically came back to us and said that there's no legal ramification as far as that goes. There is no past practice, if you will, as far as road maintenance goes. It's a matter of knowledge, and based on that, that information was never relayed on as it properly should have been from prior highway department workers, directors, management. And obviously, just like the game of telephone, if you will, things are lost in translation. With that said, this came to topic a few months back, 6 months ago, on some 91A requests, some information as far as the last snowstorm we had some power lines down over there, which created some issues as well. And then it just kind of raised question as far as what is the town's responsibility as far as that road goes. Because as you all know, there are other roads that we don't necessarily maintain. And again, classifications, there's varying degrees that we can get into. The select board researched and looked into all of that. We did consult with E911 as far as their designation for the roadways, because they actually have documentation as well as far as New Portsmouth Road goes. Obviously, the warrant article. Who else did we speak with? Basically crossed every bridge and every avenue of information that we could gather on the topic. With that said, we were bringing it back before today for just further discussion and ultimately as a vote from the select as to whether or not we are going to continue with road maintenance beyond the warrant article that was approved by the townspeople. With that said, there is an issue that arises out of that as well, because we don't necessarily have any legal ability to overrule a warrant article that was voted on by the townspeople. That was voted on by the people of this town.
So, let me
Stand by. Let me finish my, I will absolutely give you a moment to speak. So at that point, we have not made a decision, nor has a vote been cast on this, but that is something that weighs considerably on this topic as well. And with that said, I will now open the floor up and hear what you have to say.
So, I agree that in 1978, March of 1978, New Portsmouth Road and I think it was John Jones Road were both voted closed up to Gates Park. At that time, there were no people living on either one of the roads that I know of. I don't know about John Jones. Section of New Portsmouth Road. That section of New Portsmouth Road ran from Snyder's driveway to up past where the Burrows farm was. That was the main reason why they didn't want to go up there and have to maintain it, because there was no reason to do that. I personally moved in June of 1978 and have been there ever since. So, in 1996, the town of Middleton started providing services on that portion of New Portsmouth Road. 1996. So, according to what I have, it says maintenance of Class 6 highways. It says a Class 6 highway automatically reverts back to Class 5 status if the town regularly maintains the road on more than a seasonal basis in a suitable condition for year-round travel for at least 5 successive years, which the town has done. The town has been maintaining the road since 1996. So the town is actually, the road is actually reverted back to Class 5 highway in 2001. That's why the town has been maintaining it since. So, plowing and grading since before 1996. Culverts, washout repairs, excuse me, FEMA money was used for repairs.
So, obviously, you seem to have more information than we do. What changed in 1996? Are you aware?
I'm assuming that was the 911 business that the selectmen took in consideration when 911 first came on. I think, I don't really
I didn't
know.
bring it with
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Maybe they just felt bad for me and
No, it's,
wanted to pick up the maintenance on it, I don't know.
Because 911 still has it marked otherwise.
right.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you the information that I have.
So who maintained the road from 1978 when you moved in until 1996? You did.
I,
Okay. I guess my question for you is again, 1996, I guess I'm confused there. There has to be, was there a conversation that you had with somebody? Was there a conversation with
I'm
the
gonna
town?
tell
Was
you-
there a warrant article? There's gotta be something.
Between you, me, and the lamppost, me personally, no. It was probably with my wife that discussed this and took care of most of this business.
Okay.
She's not around to verify that, so you're just gonna maybe have to take my.
No, that's fine. I'm trying, I'm trying to figure out what changed then. You know, it's kind of bizarre.
It's
You know,
a mute point. What changed? It really was a mute point.
well, there's a process and a procedure to do everything, which protects you and also protects the town. Which, if those procedures were followed, and maybe we're not aware of it, then we may not even have been sitting here having this discussion today. So that's why I asked.
Well, I can't imagine that it's been just shy of 30 years that the town has maintained it, plowed it, maintained it. And I just don't understand why all of a sudden the town deciding that, no, we're not gonna take care of it. That's ridiculous.
And
I mean,
again,
I pay my taxes, everything's, you know, again, what's the big deal with the town taking care of that section of road? It's your road. It's the town's road.
again, and you and I have had this conversation. The issue there is that nobody on this board was aware.
You guys probably were just barely alive in 1978.
You're 100% correct.
So, I mean, I don't know what,
13.
you know, I wasn't at the meeting, but
But
I've been here since then.
But again, you know, this is the other issue that I have with it, is that the town votes in, we'll say March of '78, and that you build a home up there. Why wasn't there a warrant article or something else in 1979 to change road maintenance?
It wasn't an issue that I was involved with. It wasn't an issue that I thought was important enough to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we lived up there, we didn't, when you mean the lamppost, I didn't want the town up there. Because of the stuff that's happening just like right now. So, again, I don't understand what the big deal is.
So our issue, and I won't speak for the whole board right now, I'll just speak for myself here. My issue with it is simply this, is that there's procedure and policy in play to protect everyone here as far as the road goes. The best way and the best course of action, in my opinion, to address this would be to put a warrant article together for the upcoming meeting in March, to have the townspeople then vote to either null and void the previous warrant articles or override it to go back to road maintenance. The issue is that it was the people of the community that voted not to expend funds or town equipment to travel up and through that roadway.
But in 1996, 1995, 1996, I don't know what their reason is. It doesn't really
Right, and
matter.
that-
It's a mute point.
But that's why I bring this up, is like did the first snowstorm come and you were like, well, I'm not gonna plow today, and then the town truck came by? Because you said you maintained it from 78 to
Like I tried to
96.
explain to you, I don't know exactly what the gory details were between how the selectmen, they told the highway department, okay, we're gonna start taking care of this section of the road. I guess, I don't know. I wasn't there,
Yep.
and again, I didn't think that after
The-
almost 30 years that I'd be sitting here worrying about if I was gonna be able to get out of New Portsmouth
The
in the middle of
cleanest,
the winter time.
the cleanest and the best way to handle this would be, you know, a new warrant article. Again, because if we say continue road maintenance down there, next
Yeah.
week we're gonna have the people from John Jones wanting that plowed and trimmed
No,
and graded.
no.
Access road,
So,
all of these roads.
well, okay, so I'm looking at this, I'm assuming that RSA 229 semicolon 5 dash B6, B1 is no longer valid? Because what this says is, if they maintain this road, a class 6 highway, for more than 5 consecutive years, then it automatically reverts back to a class 5 highway.
And so, yeah, it sounds like for 28 years, the highway department, or was supposed to be maintaining these roads, reverting back to a class 5 road, so therefore, don't we have responsibility?
But what supersedes it? Is it the warrant article that the legislative body voted for, or is it?
So, Dan, so I'll ask you, how is that road, in your opinion, being maintained as far as it's passable, it's up to a, like, it's not, is it up to a town road standard?
I haven't been on that road for,
3 or 4 months.
well, yeah, no.
I know.
So, can I ask real quick, Dan, did you plow the road this past winter?
Personally, yes.
Okay. And during that time, you didn't really run into an issue with, like, concerns about your vehicle being down there, or?
Well,
That's a separate
it's
question.
not a class 5 road, I can tell you that right
It's
now.
not class 5.
Well,
It gets
they-
plowed. It gets
the,
plowed because I was told when I got hired here, we plow this road. And
Now, for the,
Okay. And who did?
there is no, in the last
Can I
2
just-
years,
real quick?
there's been no maintenance done on the
Fred,
road class.
can I just ask you one more question, buddy?
Excuse me?
No.
Dan,
Nobody's rigged their road
Dan,
for at least
Hi.
2 years.
Can you answer my question before anything else?
Okay, no, because I want to look him right in the eye, and you're gonna tell me right now that I haven't maintained that road or anything.
No, no.
There. No, I'm just,
Not the time for a minute.
no, I'm looking him eye to eye. I'm not gonna sit here and turn over my shoulder. I'm a man, and I'm gonna speak
I
to this
understand what you're
man.
saying.
And that is an outright lie.
Dan,
This last year, your
Dan,
got washed
please
out.
sit.
And we
That's
fixed it.
right, what I just said.
Hey, order here, order! We're not gonna have this debate here. I can tell you that I know he maintained the road. I've seen him. I went down there this April to get into your road, and I was there when they came down to clear the road. I know in years past that they have gone down that road.
Gravel.
I know all the way up through early spring of
Now,
this year,
if you-
they went down that road and they have
If you let me
maintained it.
finish, the last 2 years, as far as I know, the highway department has not raked that road or done anything other than emergency stuff. You're right, you came out, the road washed up, you repaired that.
You didn't see any of the gravel get put down with the loader and back drag?
Yes, that's
Well,
what
that's
I'm talking
maintenance.
about.
That's maintenance.
You're right, that's what I said, that
Was
you guys
was
did
there
that.
potholes in it?
Now it's washed out.
Okay.
So now let's get,
After it washed out.
let's get back to the topic at hand. I mean, the topic at hand right now is for the select board to make a decision. Are we going to continue with the road maintenance or the plowing? Maybe not necessarily road maintenance, but the plowing of the upper end of New Portsmouth Road? Or are we not?
My suggestion would be that we do it for this year and a warrant article gets made for the coming town meeting, and if it gets passed, then we continue. If not, the town has made a decision.
Are you making a motion, Tim?
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion on the motion?
We need to have it seconded.
No. Do we have a second?
I mean, you can second it, then it's a discussion of whether you,
I would like to know what supersedes. Is it the RSA or is it the warrant article for the people? You know?
I just think it's gonna open up, if we do, it's gonna open up a lot of issues here.
Why?
Because all the roads in town that can't be plowed.
Are there?
Well, see, now,
Maintaining?
that's where, now there's another little issue that came up on this little notepad, because in 2004, 2005, they had an issue with private roads, Deer Run, and one of those other ones over there. Yeah, Pine Ridge, thank you. Those are private roads, okay? New Portsmouth Road is not a private road. It's a town road, always has been.
Correct.
So that was why the issue was not taking care of Pine Ridge Road
and the other couple of roads that were private roads. So that was the issue with, it was the insurance company that came in and
Yes.
said that they can't put any equipment on a private road
Yep.
because that would make it a liability for the town. Direct liability. If you put a piece of equipment on it, it automatically, anything that happens on it is a liability of the town.
You are correct. I did speak with the insurance company on that. Yeah.
I have a question. If this is in fact a class 5 road, taxes being paid on a house that's on a class 5 road or still on a class 6 road? Something else to consider whether it's really a class 5 road or not.
The state constituted at a class 6 after, subject to gates and bars after 50 feet after the Snyder property.
Right. So now, according to what he's saying, though, it's a class 5 road.
And yeah, reverted back to class 5.
It reverted back. Now, if it's a class 5 road, are we receiving taxes on the property that's on a class 5 road, or is it taxed if it's on a class 6 road?
Doesn't make a difference.
There's a difference.
No, there isn't a difference.
I don't think it makes a difference.
No, there's no difference on the tax rate whether you live on, whether you have something on class 5 road versus class 6.
Because I think you'd have to get an abatement on the taxes if you want to do that.
The only thing we don't get is mileage for block grant. That's not considered maintainable or a maintained road. So we do not get money from the state, which is the block grant, to maintain, to help maintain the roads in town. So the mileage on that we do not receive. It's not counted towards our mileage for the town.
Kate?
Yeah, I just had a, could you clarify what the lawyer said about, because I had always thought that, or heard or learned, that because when the town starts helping out people on these roads that aren't, you know, supposed to be maintained by the town, that if it's done for a period of time, that the town has, by doing that, by being helpful or nice,
Well,
that they end up owning the road.
I think that would be the case, but you here in this specific instance,
Well,
you have
that's-
a warrant article that negates that.
Right.
And then
Voted on by the people.
You also have the RSA that says after the 5 years of consecutive
I understand,
maintenance.
that's why,
But you can't,
So,
but we as a
again-
board of selectmen can't, as far as the board of selectmen back at that time, they should have had something in some type of writing that said to go ahead and have the road agent maintain that part of the road. We have nothing in our minutes that states that that's what happened. If the road agent takes that upon themselves to do that, the board of selectmen should have reprimanded as to such to not to be doing that because a warrant article was approved by the taxpayer, the legislative body, to discontinue John Jones Road and the 50 feet after on
So
Newport
you're
Street.
saying, because I know that there's a thing in the law called adverse use, where if you use something over time, that eventually whether it's legal or not, because you've been doing it, you have to continue doing it. So that's even with, because this was after the warrant article.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
20 to 10 years after, or actually 20 years after the warrant article, almost.
You know, so categorically, the lawyer for our town says that, no, we do not have to continue.
Correct.
Not that we, you know, it just sets a precedence.
It absolutely does, and that's why I said I think the cleanest and easiest way is for a warrant article, but unfortunately, you know, winter's coming, so this issue needs to be
So that's why
decided upon now and.
my motion, if I can get a second, is to do it this year, put a warrant article together for the current town meeting, and then let the people decide.
I'll second that.
And there's, according to them, there's no other roads that we're doing this with. There's Jones Road or any other roads that are having this treatment, it's only Portsmouth Road.
And my second on that is going to be for snow removal only.
Yes.
So, if you don't go up there and do a little bit of maintenance, you probably are gonna have a kind of a pain in the ass time plowing it.
I was
So,
gonna say, we don't wanna hurt our vehicles.
Well, I mean, here's the.
well, and, you know,
And now we can- now we
wait
can
a
have
minute,
discussion
you know,
on it.
I get just as much skin in the game as
Oh,
all you guys,
absolutely,
okay, I
yeah.
mean, I cut taxes too. And, no.
Well,
I
let's be
never had-
clear, I pay taxes in this town, and I live on a state road, so no money that goes to be plowing and that goes, I get anything from that. I live on a state road, so the state plows my road, the town does not. So my tax paying dollars goes to everybody else in this town, the
Thank you.
town road.
Thank you.
So now that we have a second on the motion, we'll open it up for discussion.
Like I mentioned.
Okay, so what's on the motion?
The motion is that we're gonna maintain the road this winter for plowing. And then we're gonna put a warrant article together, come the town meeting, people are gonna vote whether or not to continue or not. That way we have a very clear, distinction between what is supposed to happen. Because that's one thing now is a true understanding of what the intent was. And that's got nothing to do with Dan, it's got nothing to do with the select board, it's everything to do with previous people in these positions.
Now, what I will say is that motion is on the table. It will go to discussion and vote at this point. But also, in your case, you need to be prepared as well, because town meeting is in early March. And if that warrant article does not pass, then that meeting will discontinue the day of
Well, if
the
it
day of the
doesn't
meeting.
pass, that's,
I'm just, you know, I'm one of those people, I like to have all the cards out on the
Yeah.
table. I don't wanna
Well,
be,
again,
I don't wanna be back here in mid-March having this conversation saying, why aren't you plowing for the next 6 weeks until winter's gone? You know, the warrant article is the cleanest and easiest way, but again, that's not even voted on at this point. It has now just been seconded for discussion purposes.
I have a question for Dan. Will you be able to plow that without doing any road repairs this winter?
I'll have to go down and look at it. I'll have to go down and look at it and see. We did have that big storm at the end, that was the last road that we were going to be cutting the brush on, and the issue came up, and not by me, the issue came up, and we ended up not going down that road. And I haven't been on the road since. So I will have to take a ride down the road, and it's probably gonna involve some brush cutting and all that, if none of that has been taken care of. And we'll have to get it ready so that we can plow it. So that's what's gonna have to happen. So I have to drop everything that I'm doing right now and go down and take care of that, if that's what the thing, if that's what, you know, I'm just telling you, this is what, you know.
how much did you pay for that new truck?
205,000 all in.
So are you gonna take that 200?
No, we ain't taking it
down there?
No, that will not go down there.
So,
And a big truck won't go down there because,
there's no reason why they can't be a six-wheeler down there.
no, they're not bringing a six-wheeler down there. Because I am in charge of that department, and they're not, and I don't care, they could have plowed it with an airplane last time, I don't care. I'm in charge of that department. I was doing it with the small truck, and the small truck shouldn't even go down there. That road is not fit for a plow with a wing. It's fit for a plow truck, for a pickup truck, fit for maybe a loader when we get too much snow for the plow truck, because we have to go, because we can't run that big truck down there. Gotta go over here and plow the roads around the lake over here, plow the roads around the lake over there with that small truck, and then travel all the way over there, and then down that road, and plow that one portion of road with the smaller truck, and that's what
Okay.
we've been doing.
Can I?
You can.
Since they started plowing, they've been six-wheeler plowing that road.
Yeah, you
turning
see
around.
all the trees down there and the bent wings that I
Well-
have? Well, guess what? Just because
This-
this guys jumped
this
off
is-
the bridge, this guy don't do it.
All right.
I'm just telling you right now. I am not bringing a six-wheel.
Go ahead.
You do right now. That's fine. meeting right now. I'm telling you right now,
You're about ready to get reprimanded for your behavior during this meeting.
Enough, enough.
everybody can yell at me, but enough.
Let's
Enough.
go to the vote.
I am fine with conversation over the topic. We are not getting in arguments and disputes over it. I am fine with sharing of information, discussions of possible issues that could arise should we continue maintenance or not. We are not getting in debates, we are not getting in arguments, and we are most certainly not getting in fights. Dan?
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't we let Dan get on there, take a look,
I think so
And
too.
what
See
needs
how
to
much
get
it's gonna
done.
cost.
if it can be done, all right, come back at the next meeting and present it to you then. And then you'll know exactly what you're dealing with, he'll know exactly what he's dealing with, and then you can make a righteous decision. If it's gonna cost us a lot of money for what he's gotta do, and it's time for what he's doing, that's gonna have a lot.
I can
Absolutely.
tell you right now, if nothing's been done down there, as far as cutting the brush that was in the road, there's some work ahead of us.
I have a question. So you said that there need to be significant maintenance down there. What is significant maintenance to you?
Just cleaning the brush back, like you said, and maybe rock the road, and all the time that they've been working on this road has never been a priority. They would go down and they would do maintenance so that they could plow the road sufficiently without beating the hell out of the equipment. So that, up till the last couple of years, the road has been raked, they go up and they clean the gutters out and stuff like that. And that would help keep, you know, if they needed to put a culvert in, they put a couple of culverts in at different times. And, you know, to keep the road from washing out and stuff, so, I mean, I'm not expecting them to pave it or up there, and as far as I'm concerned, you come up and rock rake it a couple of times, cut the brush back if you have to, do what you have to do, and don't come up and bother me, okay? I'm good with that. You know, but in the wintertime, I have had the same expectation as everybody else, that the road is gonna be plowed so that I can get out to wherever I have to go.
Has the road been plowed?
You guys plow the road, yes, yes, sir. Oh, no, I'm not,
We also plowed the driveway so we could turn around,
well,
right?
that's totally,
All right.
you don't want to
So-
turn around the driveway, that's okay with me.
All right, let's go.
Conversation's over, gentlemen.
I'm just saying-
Conversation's over.
Dan.
We know. At this point, Tim, would you like to rescind your motion or continue it?
You can table it.
I'll let the table.
Table it. Okay. At this point, we are going to table it. I will have you follow through with your liaison and take a look at the road over the course of the next week and report back to your liaison, and we'll get that information back to the board for further discussion.
I'll look at it tomorrow.
Perfect.
So, when are we gonna know what the story is?
Next Monday. We have a meeting next Monday, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, next Monday,
What time?
6:30.
Right here.
Okay. Moving on to new business. We have budgets.
Yeah, so I'll speak to these. So 8, 9, and 10, I think we can kind of join together. It's the budget, and it's like the joint budget meeting with the budget committee and then the warrant articles. So in your packets, everybody will have gotten what our current budget is for this year, and then basically, if you could go through and kind of fill in what you feel, and we can come back and discuss this or whatever, but so you have the current budget is, so that you can kind of go along, and I think we've gotten the emails back from department heads as to what their budget would be, so I'd kind of use that as your guideline, and then we can all meet together and come to a general budget for the BOS. I've put in there, like, the typical warrant articles, the ones that we typically see, you know, the highway for the paving, the fire truck and whatever. I think I put, at the bottom of it, maybe 2 potential warrant articles, that they're just, not like it's not fully written out to be, it's just a suggestion. And then, I think I was at the budget committee this past week, or last week, whatever, and I think we're looking to have a joint meeting with the budget committee to have the department heads come in on, it'd be 11/18, which would be their meeting night. And so we can get with Kim to get that schedule, because we'll kind of follow the same schedule we typically do. So we'll look at what we did for last year and put the same time frames to have them come in to speak to their budgets. So that's what those three kind of entail.
Thank you.
Yep.
The ones that are in your packet from the department heads are just the ones that came in after I sent that email.
Yeah, but the other ones, they're all in they're all been emailed to the BOS, so people can
Okay.
print those out, I believe, right?
Okay, I wasn't sure.
If not, they can
Yeah,
send
they're
them
in there, I
back.
printed
Okay.
them.
I have to print them, I haven't done that yet. Yeah,
A couple of the members of the budget committee kind of wanted to do this in 2 days or 3 days or something if they could, because jobs and stuff, they won't be able to be there. We usually do the whole thing. I prefer once and get it over with, but I know there are a couple that have trouble with that.
I mean, right now, we're looking at 11/18, we can see where we end up with that, and maybe make another meeting, another night, continuation, but, I mean, everybody's time is pretty,
That's the hard part.
I can tell you, I won't be in town for the 18th, so I'll be looking at the rest of the board to kind of, but I mean, that's just a meeting to kind of go over preliminary numbers and whatnot. So we can start and kind of go from there and get an idea of where we land, and we can certainly put out, push it out another day if we have to. But we'll come back with a schedule, we'll come back with a schedule and see how that goes over, okay? I'll promise that much, that's it. So before we get down to the other stuff, so I wanted to address, at the last meeting, Mr. Craig Moody showed up and he had questioned about whether he was mentioned in any, he had asked for an audit going back 500 days to see if he'd been misidentified or documented in any minutes generated by the town to include non-public and sealed. And I went back and looked through Board of Selectmen. I know Robin went back and looked at, I think, the budget and planning board and such, and we did not find his name, other than the most recent one where it was not identified and it has been since corrected at the ZBA.
Correct that,
So he was not identified in any other minutes. Just
Did you
one.
reach out to him about that?
No, I need
And
to.
will you reach out to him about tonight's minutes?
Yeah, I'll reach out to him
Well, he
tomorrow.
listed
Right.
and he-
No, I'll reach out to
he
him
asked us to
tomorrow,
do that.
but I mean, he did ask in a public meeting, so
Yeah.
I want to address it back in the public meeting. I will give him a call tomorrow, or I can send him an email, whichever one.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Perfect. Thank you for taking the time to do that.
yeah.
All right, number 11. Well, I will regretfully let you all know that Chief Lavalette has resigned from his
Well,
position.
He submitted his resignation.
Submitted his resignation.
He is staying in the position until we get it filled by a new chief, fire chief. That's what the, if I find it here, in my list.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't think he wants it to be long, drawn out process, but he did state that he is, willing to stay until we find it's effective as soon as the board selectman finds a replacement.
Is there anywhere we can keep him?
Huh?
Is there anything? we
Oh,
can
no,
do?
he's married to a witchy woman.
You talk to his wife.
So,
so I move that we regretfully accept his resignation, thank him for his many years of service, as well as willingness to stay on.
yes, and he is just stepping down from the chief's position once we
He's
fill it.
okay.
He's staying on the fire, he is not leaving the fire department altogether, he is staying on, so.
Resignations.
Well, yeah, I know. So, one of the things that we as a board have to come up with the posting to post for the new position, and so that we'll get that posted as soon as it's complete. Hopefully within the next week.
Number 12.
You have to
Oh, motion.
second the,
I'll second your motion.
okay.
All those in favor?
What was the motion?
To accept.
To accept his-
Oh, yes.
Regretfully accepted.
Regretfully accept. So all those in favor, go ahead, say it.
Aye.
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 Okay.
Next is Health Trust open enrollment. Don't know much or anything about that.
This is the signature one, and then the rest is just the,
The amounts, we're just looking.
yeah. And what you were asking in Roxanne, we do only offer one plan. The second one is for the retirees.
This is the retirees?
Yes.
Okay, so I missed one, retirees. So this is current. Current for active. Do you need a signature, Kim? Is
I
that-
do on the top one, I think that's one Scott has. I can sign it too because you guys have already voted me
Oh.
to be able to do that. But I just wanted to show those to you guys.
Yeah, so it's too bad they didn't show the, oh no, they have the 124 and the 125. Oh, so it does have,
You didn't see it?
I did, I was, no, I get that, but I was just like, I don't know what year I'm in right now, I guess that's it. So it's an increase about 10%.
9.9%. And for the
10.
retirees, I think it's like
4.5.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was.
So we
5
don't
point
pay,
something.
no, 4.5, well, so it rounds up to 5, I guess.
Oh, no,
We
it's
don't,
the
we don't
bottom.
pay anything for the retirees.
No,
They pay themselves, they pay for their own coverage, but it's through the town, so. Okay, I'm glad,
Is everyone okay with
Yep.
yeah.
accepting the new rates?
Yeah,
And I have sent out to the people that have coverage for, on the insurance, I sent them the page that shows them the
okay.
increase.
Well, this just goes all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the fun part, yeah.
Just kidding.
I'll turn this one over to you.
You know
Yeah,
that.
so, we have to, make a decision, excuse me, and, sign off on the MS 434, so we can set our tax rate. Right now, it's, with everything that's set in there, we can decide tonight if we want to buy down the rate, if we so choose. We do have some money available to do that. However, that would take away from any potentially unassigned fund that we wanted to pay for any warrant articles. But right now, if we do nothing if we don't buy down the tax rate will be $15.54, which means the semi-annual tax rate would be $7.77 for the non-lake. The lake is going to be 10 cents for the whole year, 5 cents per each installment. So it would be $15.64 for the total, or $7.82 per bill. So that's an increase from last year, 41 cents. And I will tell you that the town's portion went from $4.32 to $4.28. So the town's portion went down 4 cents. The county portion increased. It went from $1.58 to $1.68. The local education went from $7.91 to $8.51, 60-cent increase. The state education tax effort, it went from $1.23 down to $1.07. So, right, that's where we're at. So we're looking at a tax increase of 50 cents. Let me just double check that point, because it says 50 cents, yep. It might be 60 cents because of the SLBD. It's 10 cents. It's 10 cents, because you guys paid off the damn bond. I didn't mean it like that.
You guys, me and Bonnie did that.
Well, you're the SLB reps here, 'cause whatever. So we can, if so choose, the board so chooses, I have here in front of me that if we were to buy down the rate by $50,000, that would drop the, and it affects the town rate. That, I don't know why that's the way they do it, but it affects the town rate, and it would go down by about 14 cents, 13 cents. So we would go down from 15, it would go down to, from 15.54 down to 15.40, which is a 36 cents increase. $100,000 would be $15.27, which would be an increase of 23 cents. Those are the
I
only.
think we're gonna have some warrant articles, so I think we should just, I don't think we should buy down.
Okay, so, so your motion, Tim, is to keep the rate at 15.54
Regrettably, yes.
with the SLVD as 10 cents. All right, so somebody want to second that?
Or,
Or not?
I'll second.
Because, well, okay, so now we can open that to discussion. So is there discussion?
So I think that we're going to have some legal issues with the ZBA that we're gonna need to put together a warrant article for.
Okay.
And I think that's gonna be a major one this year. And I'm willing to bet there's gonna be some other warrant articles that are gonna be coming up as well.
Okay. Yeah, any other conversation about that? About the buying down the rate, not buying down the rate? Or actually the motion that's out there that's not to buy the rate down?
I mean,
What
we've
does
seen
that
other
say?
years where it's been over like $1, so
Right.
I don't think
just,
50 cents is that bad.
no, I just don't want to do if we buy down the rate, that limits us to what we can do with warrant articles from the unassigned fund balance, that they're one-time purchases, and then you don't have your tax rate swinging, the pendulum, which we do that. We do the yo-yo effect, and nobody likes that. We've all been through that. So I would agree with Tim. I prefer not to buy down the rate, but I'm only one person, so
Do you know the surplus of the car?
based off of when I spoke with Michelle, is it's 1.4, and current amount to be retained is 1.4 million, and they request that you keep between 7 and 17%, and 17% would be 1.1, so that would give us about 250,000 or so, like 290,000. That would be we could use for unassigned, I think, so.
Yeah.
Which is not a lot of money.
I was gonna say, that's not.
No, like I said, with, I think, at least we're gonna have a ZBA issue, and I think for the ZBA.
That's the
warrant
truck
article,
we just bought.
we're probably gonna have some more.
that
I would be
came
very
all out
hesitant
of
to
what
spend that
grant?
money.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
it's the amount.
right. Why can't I find my notes?
All right, so we have a motion on the floor to leave the rate alone, and it's been seconded. Any further discussion? I will call that to a vote. All in favor of keeping the rate as is?
Aye. So Kim, can you reach out?
All against? Okay.
Okay, so Kim, just, I think we can just go ahead and upload that into DRA tomorrow.
Or 434R,
Not the 434R, I think it's the,
the tax rate thing
the tax rate page. Yeah, the tax rate breakdown. I can take a look and see, make sure my notes based off of when we met with Michelle Clark.
Yep.
It's quite a process, to knowing the MS 434, the MS 233, 232, the MS 535, all these numbers come together and to come up with your tax rate, so. And I don't know what I did.
All right.
Is this early this year? It seems really.
Hey,
really early.
hey,
That's great.
yes,
Yeah,
we
thanks.
do not want to be lagging, and poor Kim, I was putting her feet to the fire saying, what do we owe the DRA so we can get this tax rate set, because I feel like we're always in November saying, when's the tax rate gonna be set, when's it gonna be reset?
I'm still learning.
So,
Okay. At this point, I don't believe we have any other public. I will open the public comment.
Hold on a second, I just wanna,
Sorry.
say congratulations to Peter Ciccolini, who hit 18 years of employment as of yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Tracy.
That's it. Only one this month.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Gonna, everybody in this room, Tim, you guys, but I'm not gonna sit here and let someone call me a liar. And, no, let me finish. Let me finish. Because I was under control, you haven't seen me mad yet, I'm just letting you know that. Because when I do get mad, you'll know. I have all the information, I keep a daily log. And if I had known about New Portsmouth tonight, I'd have brought all that information with me. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that road has been gravelled, it's been maintained, it's been fixed, and I'm not gonna be called a liar. And if I am not able to defend myself, then I will kindly escort myself out, and that'll be it. So, I'm just telling you right now, none of that was brought up by me. It was his impatience, thinking we should have got on his road first. We were headed that way. We were on New Portsmouth, we were headed that way. He came in and complained, and he is the one that started the problem. And God is my witness, and everybody right here, it had nothing to do with me. Nothing. So, whatever it is, it is. But I am apologizing to all of you people right here, and I take my business serious. And no one is gonna tell me how I'm gonna do my job over there, because if they are, they can step in and I will go somewhere else. That's how that works. So, thank you for your time.
Got my way to say one thing. Yeah, I appreciate that. My only comment was back and forth, it wasn't placed for it. That's my only concern. Other than that, I appreciate all that you do, but like I said, I just felt as though the back and forth wasn't,
Yep, no, you're right. You should have came down and saw me,
I agree.
like a man. You should have came in and saw me. Anybody that has a problem, they either call, email, or they come in and see me. And I let them know if the town can take care of that, or they can't. Sometimes they don't like the answer. A lot of times they do. So that's the way I work.
I agree, and I understand what you're saying, but again, you understand, my concern wasn't what you're saying, it was just the format we're doing.
Yep, no, that's fine. That's why I'm apologizing.
I appreciate that.
And I just want to let you know that I was under control, okay? Because you have not seen me mad yet.
I never want to.
And
Perfect.
hey, so,
Moving on.
okay.
We had a Halloween party for the rec this weekend. It was fantastic. Jeff and his wife were here handing out stuff for the fire department. And I'd say we had at least a good 80 kids
Oh,
or
good.
more.
Nice.
Great turnout, had a lot of fun. And I just want to thank all my workers, everybody that came and helped out. And, everybody for coming. And this Saturday, we have a craft fair from 11 to 4. And that will be here at the town hall. And then December 14th, we have a pancake breakfast with Santa and, works. And that will be 9 to 1.
Okay.
And it will snow that night.
No!
Well, you guys give us pancakes. We were here. We appreciated it.
No snow this winter.
It was a nice warm breakfast.
So any other
Yes.
comments, because I'll make the motion.
Yes, and that is free.
Wow.
What? Pancake breakfast is free. So,
Donations.
Do you need-
Donations always, yes, but.
Are you still looking for more donations?
We're always doing donations, but, yeah.
Specifically, is there anything in particular you need?
Hard-earned cash.
Well, that's always accepted. We'll let you know. Yeah.
Let me know.
Now, we've got to figure that.
Yeah, because if there's stuff that you need, we can actually get it out on the website
Yep.
and get it listed, so,
We do have pancake mix,
Yeah, I sent
sausage,
and
and
I sent.
so see?
For the link we sent over, and we we try to get them up ASAP, so.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Any other public comment? Not hearing that, we do have non-pub.
I make a motion to go into non-pub RSA 91A 3, Roman numeral 2, lowercase b.
At what time?
All those in favor?
At
7:48, aye.
I'm gonna take her a night.
Thank
Ferguson,
you.
Thank
yes.
you. Yes, Roxanne.